Hello, everybody. My name is Rich Green. I'm currently serving as the chairman for the Frankfort Interfaith Council. On behalf of our council, I welcome all our viewers to this virtual gathering. Thanks so much for taking the time and having the interest to view our video. We've made this short video to honor one of Frankfort's finest organizations, Frankfort Resource Office for Social Ministry, affectionately and more commonly known as ROSM. ROSM's CEO, Cindy Owen, is with us today. Before we continue, let's call to mind that we're in the presence of our beloved Creator and Sustainer. Let's ask his or her relief from the virus that is requiring our gathering virtually rather than in person. This is an adaptation of a prayer written by our previous chair, Linda Axe. Eternal source of all compassion, we acknowledge your presence in our gathering today. We place in your care all affected by the COVID-19 virus that is plaguing. Console all who have lost loved ones, all who are sick from the virus, and all who care for them. Guide political leaders that they do what is needed to combat this virus. Guide healthcare workers and all working for cures that they succeed in finding effective medicines to help the infected recover and that they produce a vaccine to inoculate against it. Spread your glory upon our world to transform it as a renewed creation. And as always, each moment of each day, we acknowledge that yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. And all God's people say, Amen. With our video today, we're celebrating the third annual presentation of the Frankfort Interfaith Council's Ruby Layson Award. I never got to meet Ruby, but those who knew her tell me that she was just a delightful, heart-filled woman who just had such wonderful influence, really was a gift of God to all the rest of us. Ruby helped establish our Interfaith Council. She was motivated by the need for understanding and compassion among the followers of Frankfort's many varied religious traditions. Our council brings together Baha'is, Buddhists, Christians, Hindus, Judaists, Muslims, and Unitarian Universalists, and welcomes other faith traditions that worship and pray here in our community. Ruby and the founders of our council adopted the International Charter for Compassion as the operating guide for our council. The Charter for Compassion is based on the Golden Rule, do for others what you would have them do for you, a belief wholeheartedly professed by all world religions. I'd very much recommend that you go to their website. It's charterforcompassion.org. I just am always astonished at the good works that are being done close to home and worldwide by the adherents to the Charter. The Charter is active as what they call a foundational document in close to 50 countries worldwide. Over 70 cities and counties and other government agencies have formally affirmed the Charter's principles, and each year they submit their plans on how they're going to implement those principles. Lexington and Louisville are among those who have formally affirmed the Charter. Our council hopes to have Frankfort and Franklin County affirm the Charter as their working document. Nancy Watkins got Representative Joe Gravis to get the House of Representatives to adopt that charter. As of now, on their website, you'll see Frankfort is listed as one of the 6 or 7 cities in Kentucky that's involved in creating action plans for getting local governments formally affirm the charter. Ruby was one of the Charter of Compassion's faithful proponents. She was a devoted member of the Unitarian Universalist Church. The criteria for this award, given in her name, are taken from her faith community's 7 values and moral principles guide. These principles endorse the worth and dignity of every person. They're principles of justice, equity, compassion. They fully promote accepting others in their responsible search for truth and meaning. Given these criteria and their expression of the spirit of Ruby, our council sees the Frankfort Resource Office for Social Ministries, or ROSM, as a prime embodiment of these ideals. ROSM coordinates the charity work of many local churches, charities, and agencies. ROSM and their supporters are where the rubber hits the road every day, taking care of our brothers and sisters in need. Their boots on the ground contributions showcase the compassion enshrined in the Charter for Compassion. Traditionally, our council has presented this award at our picnic, a community picnic each August. It's usually been held under the Archery Pavilion in Cove Springs Archery Park. Due to COVID-19's restrictions and precautions, we can't have such a gathering. So we have already pre-delivered the award plaque to ROSM's CEO, Cindy Owen. The plaque that we delivered reads, "This 2020 Ruby Layson Award for promoting the interfaith qualities of justice, compassion, and human kindness is presented to the Frankfort Resource Office for Social Ministries, ROSM, by the Frankfort Interfaith Council." In Ruby's spirit as a tireless promoter of justice, compassion, and humankind, our Frankfort Interfaith Council is pleased to have the Frankfort Resource Office for Social Ministries as the recipient of this year's award. Congratulations, Cindy, on your organization, what you're doing for our community.
My name is Cindy Owen, and I am the director of the Resource Office for Social Ministries. And as Rich so kindly said, it's affectionately known as ROSM. I want to start by saying a huge thank you. We are very humbled by receiving this award. It's very generous of you. And as I go through my remarks, you will be able to see there's a lot of people that we need to thank. ROSM could not do the work that we do in our office without many, many people, and I wanted to point that out in my remarks. The first thing I was asked to do is to provide you some background on how in the world did ROSM even get started. Back in the 1980s, churches were beginning to see that the same individuals and families might go from church to church to get assistance, and one church might not know that another church had assisted. So the Ministerial Association at the time discussed this and established ROSM. And ROSM was to act as a clearinghouse so that the churches would send the needs to ROSM by way of application. ROSM would review it and contact whoever they need to ask the questions necessary. They would not work directly with the client. That would be the church's matter. And then the decision would go back to the church for the church to communicate to the client. We still do it that way. And the reason we do, so I'm told, is twofold. One is the Bible instructs us, God instructs us, the church, his people, to care for the orphans and the widows and to feed the hungry. So ROSM is really an extension of those ministries to do that. And so we just act as the ones behind the scene carrying through the work of the church. The other is they wanted the decision making removed from the initial contact with the client. And that works pretty well in most cases. So we continue that today. The churches at the time, too, began to fund that. So that's how we started out in the 80s. In 1982, it was established. And today, 2020, time marches on, We do the same thing. We also continue to work with the connection with the food pantry. Applications will come to they come to Rawsons through churches or agencies, and we check the criteria to make sure people qualify, and then they're provided food boxes. We send those to the food pantry. The volunteers there fill those orders, and the churches go and pick them up, bring them back to their church for the client to pick up. The food pantry has its own board, and we carry out the things they want us to do, and we just help them in that way. Rosin is governed by its own board. We have 18 members, and we have the chair of that board. It's Dr. John Sala. He's the minister of First Christian Church. He is amazing, and God has really blessed us with that leadership. The Rosin office is where I come in. We do the business of Rosin. We take the applications and we process those and work with the churches and agencies. Then we take care of the business side. So we do have to do budgets and so forth. And we take care of the bill paying and all of that. The money goes directly to the service provider. It does not go to the client. So we take care of those kind of things. Since the inception of Rosin, I am only the third director, which I think is phenomenal over 38 years. The first one was Miss Eileen Lansdale. She was the director of Rosin for over 30 years. That's pretty amazing. And after her, we had Danny Garland to lead us. He was with Rosin about 2.5 years, and I've been there about 2.5 years. So we've got 3 of us. We have a financial officer, Jane Orr. I could not make it without her. And we have an operations administrator. Her name is Sarah Barker, and she's been with us a little over a year, and she is great. The mission statement, as you can expect, draws out the fact that Rosin is a nonprofit organization, and we partner with local area individuals and churches and businesses and agencies and city and county government to help the people. All of these people are phenomenal. Since January of 2019, we have had contributors from 3 grants, 18 organizations or businesses, 24 churches, and 108 individuals. That is generosity, and we are humbled by that. Even during the pandemic, we have faithful givers that has helped us be able to, in turn, help the people in need. Our mission statement goes on to say that our main goal is to help people have sustainability in their homes. So we generally pay rent, utilities, a mortgage, medicine. We've been known to pay other things too, depending on the circumstances, and we review each case carefully to see what is going on and how can we help. We also have people that have volunteered to help us. We have a former board member that calls on occasion to say, well, how are you and what do you need? And she supplies things. Her name is Kathy Carter, and she has been great. We have had various individuals give us office supplies because they know those have to be purchased too. And then we have a gentleman right now that is offering his IT services so that we can cut down on our costs. And he's also writing a computer program to help us maintain and manage all of our cases, which is wonderful. And his name is Ken Owen, and yes, he is my husband. So I don't know if I get extra help because of that or not, but anyway, it's nice to have him. I know 3 things about a computer: when it works, when it don't, and who to call. So thankfully, I live with the person I can call. You asked me to describe the day in the life of Bronson. Our office hours right now, we should be a little embarrassed. They're 9:30 to 3:30, which is very easy hours. We're all part-time. And so we try to do the best we can with what we can afford. We try to keep the overhead down. We receive cases and review them and make all the necessary contacts to make a decision on this. We take the daily food orders and process those for the food pantry, and we take care of all that business. So that's pretty much our day, and it is a full day. You go in and you look up and it's time to leave, so you feel like you haven't been there very long at all. But we love the work. We are very, very fortunate and blessed that God has chosen us to help Philippines. You know, God doesn't need us, but it sure is a privilege when He decides to use us. But by and large, I'm going to tell you, we have great needs in our community. We have people that struggle every day. They do pretty much okay as long as nothing happens unexpectedly, like a car breakdown or a medical need or a death in the family that was a breadwinner, or a divorce or something catastrophic, and so we want to help because people do the very best they can do. And in our community, there's not enough affordable housing, so that's a struggle too. So we try to help with all the things we can. We do have a website if you want to know more information about Rosin. It is rosinfrankfort.org, and it will provide information for a potential client or a donor or anybody that just wants to know information about us. We certainly need all the help we can get, as you can imagine. Monetary help is always incredible, but first and foremost, beyond anything, the most powerful thing we ask of you is your prayers. We covet your prayers. You know, the money is important, and I won't pretend it's not. It's true for all social service agencies. But it's just as important, if not more so, that we make the right decisions. And we cannot do that without God's guidance. And so we do ask that you put us on your prayers. So if you have any questions, you certainly can contact our website. You can contact us. We can't work directly with clients, but we can answer questions. And thank you very, very much.
Rosin, thank you for all the wonderful work you have done for our community and shown so much compassion. This is the third year, I believe, that we've presented the award, and this is the most competitive year. We've had so many different organizations, different groups that could have received this award, and the fact that you all have won it says so much about your group. Thank you.
Rosin, thank you so much for all the work you do in our community and very important services you provide. We are honored to present this award to you.
Congratulations, Rosin, for winning this award. And community need your services, especially during the coronavirus. There are several people who lost jobs, who are mentally stressed. People are anxious. So one way or other, everybody need the services that you guys offer. So again, I congratulate you. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Hello, Rosin. On behalf of the Jewish community in Central Kentucky, I really want to congratulate you on winning the 2020 Ruby Lawson Award. It couldn't have been given to a more deserving organization. The work you do is wonderful. Please keep it up.
On behalf of the Frankfort Interfaith Council, it's an honor for us to recognize Rosin with the Ruby Layson Award. It means a great deal to us. It represents compassion, understanding, serving those in need, and many other great qualities that we think Rosin represents. Cindy, you and your staff, your board, the Ministerial Association, I know all work as a team, and you provide tremendous services in our community, and this is our opportunity to recognize you for that. So thank you.
Rosin, on behalf of Frankfort UUs, which was Ruby's home congregation, we are excited to see that you won this award, and we want you to know that you were always a pet project of Ruby's, and we appreciate the work that you do. Thank you.
Cindy, thank you so much for your good information. What a wonderful outfit. What great things you do for this community. I know Ruby Layson is smiling at all you're doing. And again, thank you on behalf of the Frankfort Interfaith Council for all that you do and all your supporters. And also on behalf of our council, we thank all you viewers for watching our virtual presentation celebration. May you all stay healthy and be at peace.